Singapore immigration laws and matters,
permanent residency.
citizenship.
I'm Kay.
I'm Elena.
This
It's the Masterclass. This episode is especially relevant to those of you who are holding on to a work pass and living in Singapore. Today, I'm going to discuss on the top benefits of having a Singapore permanent residence. First of all, flexibility of visa. As a Singapore permanent resident, you are entitled to travel in and out of the country and also to live in Singapore freely without having the need to apply for a visa each time you enter the country or in order to work in this country. As compared to a work pass holder in Singapore, you are required to leave the country within 30 days, let's say your work pass gets cancelled. However, as a PR, this problem will not happen to you. Second perk, career flexibility and stability. As a PR, you are given a lot more employment opportunities as the Singapore government is always encouraging local employees to be considered first as compared to foreign workers. As a work pass holder in Singapore, you're not only tied down to one employer, but whenever you need to change employers, you need to apply for a new pass as well, and there is no guarantee that your next pass will be approved. As a PR, this problem will not happen to you. Next, entrepreneurship opportunities. As a permanent resident of Singapore, you are considered a local, and you do not need to engage a local nominee director in order to incorporate a company in Singapore. And you can start a business with as little money as $1 for your paid-up capital. But if today you're a foreigner, $1 will not allow you to actually incorporate any business or work for your company here in Singapore. Property ownerships. As permanent residents, you are entitled to public housings owned and managed by the Singapore government. As a foreigner, you are only allowed to purchase private properties which can be easily double or triple the price of public housings. At the same time, you will be entitled to a lot more tax-free rebates to purchase properties as compared to a foreigner. For example, as a PR, you only need to pay 5% buyer's stamp duty as compared to a foreigner who needs to pay up to 20%. So can you imagine how much this 15% difference will cost if your property is worth $1 million? As many of you know, Singapore's education system is regarded as one of the best in the world, and having your kids receive education from Singapore schools will ensure that they receive world-class education at a reasonable price. Public healthcare. In 2014, Bloomberg ranked Singapore as having the most efficient healthcare system in the world. And it can be pretty costly if you are a foreigner living in Singapore and having to pay for your medical bills. This is something that you need to consider because if you are a PR, you get to enjoy our public healthcare at a much subsidized rate, very similar to a Singapore citizen. Path to citizenship. Singapore passport has been ranked number 1 in the world, and there is a good reason for that. Not only we have a very systematic regulation in place, but our country is also safe from natural disasters, enjoy low tax rates, and is extremely business friendly and safe. Furthermore, unlike a lot of European countries, a Singapore passport cannot be bought with just money alone. You have to become a PR for at least 2 years before you are eligible to apply for citizenship, and it is not even granted regardless of how many years you have stayed in Singapore. Hence, being a PR is a stepping stone to becoming a Singapore citizen, which is highly sought after by millions of foreigners today. I hope today's video will allow you to understand a little bit more on the benefits of becoming a Singapore PR and why it is so highly sought after by many today. On a yearly basis, there are more than 100,000 foreigners who wish to obtain this status, and if you're one of them, you know who to speak to.